Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Reconquista by developer Hedgefield. This is a first-person exploration game, casts us in the role of an Incan rebel coming to reclaim a sacred artifact from the conquistador-occupied island of Huaca off the coast of South America. It gives us a lot of context in the README that is not necessarily implied in the actual game. But our goal here on this island is to explore this lovely, lush, purple and yellow world, and like I said, reclaim an artifact. We'll also lighting some fires, I believe, is part of the goal, and just kind of taking in the sights and sounds and hoping we don't get killed by somebody, because we are in sort of a threatening environment. So anyway, first impressions here, because that's what we're all about here on Indie Impressions. Well, it's a beautiful looking game, I have to say. The developer claimed this is their first 3D game, and I have to say, visually, very attractive. I really love the color palette. It's a little bit betrayed by the really awful, jaggy shadows, but I understand could be constraint of this being, again, the first game this developer's worked on. Oh, and we do actually have legs. I didn't notice that. Oh, and we have dynamic shadows, which are also, well, almost equally janky looking, unfortunately. Actually, it seems as they get projected further and further away, I guess the aliasing kind of catches up with it. You can actually see there's an animation on the character's hands, kind of clasping and unclasping, which is something I wouldn't expect from a model that you never actually get to look at, as far as I can tell. So we can walk up and press F to snuff this fire, which will at least alleviate one of those shadows. Oh, actually it looks a lot nicer when it's not being projected the other way. All right, fair enough. It could just be that shadow in particular, so maybe I should calm down. Other observation, other than the visuals looking very pretty, is the mouse is far too fast, and there's no options to set it slower. I have mouse smoothing on, which is not usually a thing I use, but I noticed it did make it a little bit less quick. And honestly, like, it's not intolerable, but, like, man, it is really fast. Brightness, graphics quality, actually I don't know why that's not up further. I actually had that set up and then I guess it lowered again. And there's no windowed mode, oddly enough, too. And I hope this is not a sign of the times, but this is a Unity game and it didn't have the Unity launcher that I've come to know and love over the years. In fact, one of the things that brought me to playing so many Unity games, and we're just going to start wandering about here, one of the things that brought me to playing so many Unity games is the fact that that launcher is so well useful for my recording purposes. It lets me set a resolution and windowed or full screen immediately upon starting without even having to get into the nitty-gritty, and Unity games almost always capture perfectly. Hey, title card. The Idol of Huaca. Very kind of menacing presence there. Okay, so as I come over this hill, I've noticed very quickly all of these trees seem to be the same model. But in another way, it almost kind of has a cool textural effect, the fact that they're all sort of following the same path upward. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but it is, again, still visually a very cool game. I'm not trying to disparage the developer there. There's like a churro embedded in the ground, or is this like some kind of metal rebar thing? Actually, it might be a bit dark. Maybe we'll up the brightness just a little bit here. Just since I know YouTube tends to darken things even more. It's fine on my end, but I'm just trying to look out for you in the long term here. And possibly we're going to find our way back toward the yellow light anyway, and then things will be fine. I mean, like, that sight right there is very, very pretty. So it looks like we have freedom to go to any direction we'd like right off the bat. So me being me, I suppose we'll head in the direction that does not have a path at all and see where that takes us. I probably should have, if I was being me to the utmost, I probably should have just made a break directly to the right and not even followed the path over the hill. Wonder if there's invisible barriers keeping me away. Alright, so it looks like we're just going to get to a coastline here. I'm loving the clouds up in the sky, but then once they reach that point where they kind of start to intersect with the horizon a little bit, things start to look a little bit, almost like a watercolor painting. I don't know if that was intentional there either. And there's just a slight bit of that, like, blown out bright color feel that Firewatch had, which is actually, that I mean that as a compliment. There's something about this color palette that I just find really, really attractive. Hey, me being me again. Purple, right? I love purple. Can't get away from it. By the way, in case anyone was wondering, there is a jump button on spacebar, typical Unity stuff. Oh, it's one of the... Oh, goodness. Is that a thing that's going to happen again? Or were those trees just drawing in as I went over that hill? Maybe they were just drawing in. They, like, flickered really oddly, though. Alright, let's press F. Ooh. Oh, that's really pretty, too. I didn't even realize that blue could complement that so nicely. It's like a blue-green, aquamarine kind of seafoamy thing. There's some little spooky sounds happening every so often off in the background. The volume should be loud enough that you can catch those. And I'm not sure. There's a tag that says this might be partially horror-influenced. So I'm not sure where that's going to take us, if anywhere. But I guess there could be spoops ahead. Be aware. I didn't play any of this, actually, to prepare for it. I just wandered around the little beach area for just a moment to get my sound levels and all, so there is the chance that there might be things here I don't expect that will jump out. I kind of appreciate, too, that the developer chose to take such an kind of untraveled course with regard to the plotline of this. You don't see a lot of things to do with, you know, Incan rebels in indie games. So I always appreciate something a bit different. Oh, we got more spooky sounds. There's definitely some settlement stuff going on here. We've got all of the fish, I guess, hanging. Yep, all the fish are here. Hello, fish. Hello. We can light that torch. Why do I want to light the torches again? I guess just for light, huh? I was kind of hoping maybe I could just take one with me. Oh no, there's blood on the ground. Whatever shall that mean? Alright, we'll just give ourselves a more picturesque environment to walk around with more dynamic shadows. There is a little bit of frame jitteriness going on. I'm not sure if it's because I'm recording or because the draw distance on this game seems a bit exceptional for how much seems to be going on in the forest. Ooh, a very large axe. That's like a beheading axe. And that is a beheading stump, and it is floating in the air. Dang. I didn't notice that as I walked up to it, and then I was like, oh, there's shadows under that, huh? And they're floating. Okay. No problem. What's going on over here? There's like an awful lot of bright purple glow coming off this coastline. Maybe it's just because the texture kind of recedes into sand, and sand is more reflective of this purple skybox, perhaps. So there's our dock. Seems to lead to nothing. I'm supposing you can't jump into the water, yeah? No. Oh, there's torches here? Oh, there's a torch. I didn't even notice it. Yes. F to pay respects to the torch. I guess they're symmetrical, so why not pay respects to all four? And let's go check out that little shrine over there. I'm a huge fan of games that just let you kind of figure out your own path through things and don't hold your hand too much. I mean, granted, some games require some hand-holding, but when all you really have to interact with the world is one key and, you know, WASD, run, and jump, and mouse look, I suppose, if you want to be really technical, yeah, you can kind of figure out your own way. It's really not too bad. Oh, there's not much going on here, apparently. It's just a little building you can walk into. I really like, though, that once you've lit up the torches off in the distance, you can still see them. Like, I was just complaining about the framiness of the draw distance, but at the same time, it's awesome that you can see your progress and where you've been by lighting those torches sort of like a little beacon. So it gives you a little bit of a motivation to not stay in the areas that have a bright dynamic light shining off somewhere near you. It's a sort of a subtle way to lead the player around the landscape, actually, that doesn't require any hand-holding and the player can make it for themselves. I wonder often, actually, if stuff like this is what they wanted to do with Dark Souls 2 before, unfortunately, the lighting engine got screwed up. And no, I'm not going to launch into a discussion about Dark Souls 2. I was just making that observation. Alright, so I guess we'll head up this hill. I'm not sure how much I want to play of this. I just wanted to see if we get to anything particularly wild. I'm not sure if I want to play through the whole thing or not, but I believe there's only 4 of these torch beacons, and we've got to find this artifact, which I don't even know where that's going to be yet, but we've already lit 2 of them. Ooh, there's more spooky sounds. When this launched, the developer suggested that you play with headphones, and I will say the stereo positional stuff is actually in full effect. The stereo positional stuff. That's the technical term we use here in the industry. Alright, let's go on over here. There's a little shack or some kind of like boathouse thing. Oh, okay, more torches. And some nets. Says, okay, some fishing gear. This is where you just get your oh, hello. Kind of reminds me of, what's it called? Magenta Skeleton, I think it was. And, it sort of used an aesthetic like that with the jaggy shadows, but, like, that was the intentional aesthetic. And somehow they made that work. I think if you own certain properties of a graphical aesthetic, even if they're undesirable at face value, there's ways you can transform them into being a bit more useful or conducive to a thematic coherence in your game. And when you have something that's really soft and like this sky that's a bit watercolory, and then you've got these gentle bloom effects, the god rays kind of coming around the edges of the trees, those are all very soft effects. Those all have really gentle edges. And then you see something really hard and crunchy like that really hard edge of that shadow, and it kind of reminds you that there's a bit of something dissonant going on there. But if you make everything kind of crunchy like that, or you play it up in a way, I guess you can still make it work. It's funny, the things you never even think about, honestly, and I imagine, well, I don't know this for a fact, it's a bit of a reach for me to say, but if the developer, were they paying attention to things at that level, I wonder. You know, the dissonance between the types of shadows that happen in one area versus the types of aesthetic you see in another. And no harm if they weren't. It's honestly, I'm like one of probably about 5 people that would ever even make that observation. So we've reached a pretty wild looking Aztec temple ruin thing here. Well, I don't know if it's a ruin actually yet. I feel like if I walk up this is where I'm going to be sacrificed and my heart will be cut out. Let's see if that is the case. Alright, there's the torches, the bonfires themselves. I wonder why they glow blue, actually. If there's a property of that. Well, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a blue flame is Japanese demons and Japanese, like, spectral mythology, if that's the way you can summarize it. Surmise it? I don't know what I'm saying. And I don't think there's crossover here, but I just wonder if maybe there could be at a level that I'm not aware of. And I'm not aware of a lot of levels when it comes to things like that. So this does seem to be a bit of a red herring here, unless those open. You know what, that's probably it. I bet that opens when you get all the torches, and then you go back up and claim your artifact. Not torches, bonfires, you know what I mean. I have to say, my compliments to the developer. This is really well done. Very subtle, but also at the same time does interest me enough to want to walk around and explore not only just the main directive, which is to light those bonfires, but also just to kind of look around. Island is also surprisingly large. I didn't expect it to be quite this large. Oh, anything off this cliff here? It makes me curious if I can get myself stuck, which is a habit that I have that I can't seem to shake. I've got to break every game, undermine every level design. I don't know why I must do this. Oh, alright, what's this? There's another little shrine down there, it looks like, and I guess a little cliff. Yeah, okay, we can kind of hop off there. My guess would have been that since... Well, first of all, I don't know if there's a death state, but if there doesn't appear to be from any other reason, I would say probably most likely there isn't one, and there probably isn't fall damage, so I probably could have just jumped off of there, no problem. We've lit one more torch. I imagine we might be coming around the side of the island full circle to back to the beginning where the boat was, but I've kind of lost track a little bit, which is a good sign. I'd rather not be able to chart out the entire geography just from one pass. Nothing else over there. Oh, okay, so there is... I believe that's the first fire we lit when we came up from the beach. So I suppose the boat would be over to the right there. Right there, right there. Oh, this is cool. Oh, okay, yep, I know exactly where we are. That's where the title card happened. We just did a full circle around the outer edge. The developer said they did lean a bit on Unity assets because he said that his modeling ability was a bit limited, and I really don't have any problem with using Unity assets as long as they're coherent with what you're trying to do, as long as they're somewhat seamless. And in this case, I find them to be quite seamless, in fact. The only thing I really just objected to was just the fact that this is a bit copy-paste looking with all these trees. But I also mentioned, you know, the texturing, textural quality of seeing them all kind of shaped up in the same way. I guess it reminds me a little bit of, what is it, Quelaag's area in Dark Souls 1, how they had those weird protrusions coming out of that hill. I'm sure that's not what was meant to be assumed there, but my mind takes me to strange places. Yeah, and you're seeing it a bit here too, actually. These plants are kind of following the same shadow pattern. You can see the same little black bits cropping up like a little triangle every so often. It's hard to really grab something like that and really tune it perfectly, though. I mean, if you only have a couple of assets to work from, or even a handful, maybe 5 or 10, it's going to be very difficult to pattern things in a way that doesn't come across looking copy-paste. So it might be a case of just, like, kind of making the best of what you can with it. And I think, again, most people won't even make those observations. I'm just being overly nitpicky, honestly. And if I wasn't playing this with critique in mind, I probably wouldn't have even mentioned it either. So there's one more beacon we gotta go find, and I'm not sure quite where it was. We've gone all the way around. I guess I may as well light every torch I see. I wonder if the lighting of the torches is actually contributing to the frame rate getting stutterier. So, okay, so this is one thing that I will say, and I don't think I mentioned this before, actually, but I probably should have. This is a case where this could have been worked out, and I've mentioned this many times in prior videos. Stairs, for some reason, are a huge hurdle for people to make not look like this. And what I mean by like this is just this recurring smear pattern of the same bit of texture sticking out on the same side every single time, and then when you look up it, I mean, stairs kind of form a ramp naturally, and your eye just fills in the blanks, and it basically just looks like you've got an unintended pattern there. Now, I guess this will happen a bit more when you've got such a shallow set of stairs happening. It would have probably been a bit more beneficial to have these be more stairs with a steeper incline or something like that, but I understand also part of the architecture too, and this is a natural extension of that. Also having some, I don't know what the right word is exactly, but some different versions, permutations of the stairs. Little bits of rock that break up the pattern, little bits, chips taken out of them, stone tiles that might be strewn across the top, maybe a little bit of foliage or junk on top of them. Just stuff to break it up so your eye isn't just like, here's a straight path of the same object repeated over and over. Oh, is that the last one over there? I can't tell if there's blue coming out of that. That might be it. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, this is a better example of what I was trying to say. Steeper and a little bit less obvious that it's repeated. And also, you know, it's in shadow, so that helps a lot too. Alright, I do just want to head over, and I guess at this point we may as well click on the last one and see what happens. If I didn't just get myself turned around, which is possible. Where'd we go? I should still be able to see it, though, regardless. Oh, I did light that one. Darn. Alright, well, the yellow in the background made it a little difficult to see. Well, it's just a process of elimination now. I would just wander around until I find the one that I haven't lit, and the torches adjacent are not lit as well. I'm trying to just think of, like, the exact structure of the island that I've seen so far. I came in, kind of made a right, and then looped around the centerpiece, which is this. And I believe I went sort of along the coastline, but there's probably, like, one spot that I dipped in too far to see the edge of, and I would guess it would be directly north of my spawn point? I think I probably hooked a bit closer when I saw that structure, which, you know, if my thought process is right, I would think the last area is... Okay, I actually did it. I didn't expect that. I actually worked it out logically in my own mind. Hooray! We've done it! And we have a lovely stone grindy sound giving us the exact feedback that I was hoping for, which is that the centerpiece is opened and the thing will probably be available. We'll go get our MacGuffin and see what happens. See if there's more to it anyway. I should mention, by the way, this is free to download if you'd like, and if you don't want the ending here spoiled. If there is an ending happening right about now, I'm not sure if there is. Maybe click away at this point and go grab it yourself. So we've got some sort of idol, it looks like. Yep. And we've got a really strange texture thing going on top of that pedestal. Oh yeah, it's just seams all the way around. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's grab it. Uh-oh. Picking up the idol has triggered a thunderstorm, it seems like. And it's put out all the fires! Oh gosh. What happens next? The particles take over. Oh, that's actually pretty nice looking. Doing rain in a game is very difficult, and I appreciate that they were able to add the explosive little dots on the ground. I don't know if they correlate perfectly with the raindrops, but you know what? It's good enough. I suppose now I would just want to head back to my boat, if this is indeed the correct direction for that. Oh, I heard something. Am I being tracked by someone? Or something? Sounds like I'm walking right toward it. Oh, is the rain giving way? Oh, wait. Hang on. Did I just walk further away from the boat? I think I walked further away from the boat, yeah. Oh! Oh! There's a man! Why are you making that sound? That's not a sound people make. He's made my screen all red. Why is he doing that weird wobbly walk? Alright, I guess I'll just, like, not look at him, because what's the point? Yeah, I got myself really turned around here. I expect they were counting on that to some degree. Oh no, is my screen gonna stay red forever now? I was hoping if I could get my distance, perhaps it would fade back to the normal color. You know, I hate to say it, but this is a bit of a trope, and I understand why visually it's necessary sometimes, but I'm a little tired of the red fade on the screen for taking damage. It is less obtrusive sometimes than putting a health bar, but also, in a situation like this, I don't know if it's necessary even. Or if anything, just put a little momentary one and then have it just go right away again. I don't think we need, like, an additive declaration of our total health. I love that I can run just slightly faster than this guy. Oh, okay, it did fade away. It just took ages. Oh, I think he's... Are there... Oh, there's a whole tribe of them following me now. Oh, goodness. Well, we should just follow the coast, and eventually I'll find my way back home. By home, I mean literally a boat. My boat home. I wonder how many we can pull with us and kite around the island. And where they're even coming from, to be honest, because I didn't see any signs of life other than, well, signs that people existed, but no signs that people were actually necessarily right here. Okay, I'd like to believe this is the very first one that we lit up, so if I just proceed in this direction, we should get to our destination just fine. Come on, guys. I've proven to you that I can run away very successfully by just continuing in one direction. Well, okay, there's one coming ahead now. See if I can kite everyone on the entire island. The implications of this are exactly. These people have been turned into zombie creatures by some sort of ancient magic. Oh, okay, maybe this is the very first one then? Yeah, I think we're getting quite close. Hopefully just over the next hill. It'd be very frustrating if I get to the boat and it's just like, you've died. Or where am I? Okay, I'm actually quite confused. I don't think I saw this place, actually, when I was wandering around. I may have just gone in another complete loop. Directly around the thing that I needed to actually get to. We'll see in a moment if it's over this next ridge. Okay, so by process of elimination, this has to be the last one. By last, I mean first. And... oh, another man. Got quite a pile of people following now. Yep, hello. I should probably... oh, they're falling out of the trees. Probably focus on not walking into something, because as soon as I hit into it, it's going to pretty much kill me. Alright, so there's our beach. And there's our boat. Beach and boat, take me home, please. Can I shove off this boat fast? Oh, green screen. The idol has been returned to its rightful place, and the game has quit. Okay, fair enough. I didn't expect to just go to a black screen there. Please, developers, please just don't quit to the desktop. I hate when that happens. So such a letdown. At least leave the credits screen or something up indefinitely until you hit escape. Anyway, that's going to be Reconquista. Free to download if you'd like to check it out. There will be a link in the description. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments. If you'd like to comment on anything critically, I appreciate keeping that sort of a tone. That being a positive reinforcement, constructive criticism is generally what I aim for. And if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like on it. It does help out quite a bit. And I will see you back again soon for another Indie Impressions. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night, everybody.